Good morning and welcome to another video. So it feels like every time I'm doing these videos I'm always complaining about something. So I wasn't even going to fish today. I was going to go tomorrow. Weather was slightly better tomorrow, but my 6-month-old son decided to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and not go back to sleep. So I thought, stuff this, I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning 2 days in a row. So I grabbed the gear, jumped in the car, and we've come down. And I'm delighted because the lake that I'm on has a sheltered bay. Everywhere else that I stopped or looked at on the way down was really windy, really choppy, just horrible conditions. So I'm over the moon that I've got onto the lake that I wanted to fish, and it's really sheltered. You can see, nice sheltered corner. I've already got a rod out. We're only here a few minutes. So today's video, we fished here a few weeks ago and there was quite a few jack pike that we were catching, had tremendous bite marks in the back, and I sort of got the cogs thinking, and obviously spoke a few different comments on the channel, people saying, yeah, there's definitely a big girl in there, and I obviously think that as well. So today's video, we're back on the dead baits. I do have the lure rod as usual, back with the dead baits, but this time I'm actually using big chunky dead baits. We've got roach and pollen again, as always, but they're big massive roach, big massive pollen. Aim of the game is to throw two big dead baits out, spread the rods out a wee bit, and we're just going to keep moving, going light. I've just got a bag and net, 2 dead bait rods and a lure rod. Saying that, the ground is really swampy, so even though I'm going quite light, it's still difficult to maneuver. So we're going to spend a bit of time, spot hop, and we're just going to keep making our way around with the dead baits, give it an hour in each spot, and see what happens. So 3 hours sleep. Let's hope a big pike sort of takes that all away and makes me feel a bit more alive, a bit more awake. Plenty of tins of monster to keep me going, and yeah, excited to go. Let's get going. There we go, rods are out. What is it the old guys on Facebook say? The traps are set, something along those lines. So on the right hand rod then I've got big massive roach. On the left hand then, cast out into the middle of the lake, I've got a big pollen. Both fished on the float, fished over depth. And the wind's picked up a wee bit, which is okay. Still not windy where I am, still reasonably sheltered. So it might even bring them on a bit, who knows, but let's see. Just having a quick chuck with the lure rod. Sort of just using it to try and get a bit of an idea of the depth, in all honesty, rather than, you know, a fishing sense. And I've sort of first cast with the lure rod on the 3D river roach and me banged something. So I'm hoping this isn't going to be the theme of today. I'd rather obviously catch things on the dead baits, but obviously when you're fishing with a big dead bait, things can be slow. So we'll get this guy unhooked. He certainly wasn't shaking that off. Okay, we get him back. The first one, even though it wasn't on a dead bait, the dead baits I'm using are half the size of this guy. He's just swam between my legs. That's always a weird feeling. Yeah, so not a blank. Not what we're attempting to do, where we want obviously a big pike on the dead bait on one of these 2 rods, so hopefully they go soon. As I said, like the pollen I'm using is that size. The roach isn't far behind it. I'm just hoping those small jacks aren't on the feed. But anyway, I'll keep messing about with the lure rod. The reason I'm using the lure rod is because I've never been on this lake on a fish with on a belly boat or a boat or whatever, so I don't know the depths. I know it's really shallow around the edge with the weed. I've had quite a bit of trouble with it. So what I want to do is just cast the lure rod into the deep water, get a bit of an idea of the average depth, where the drop off is. You know, old school sort of tactics of finding out the way a lake sort of is built, and then obviously things that got happen, you catch a fish, then it's a win-win. But anyway, I'll keep messing about with the lure rod and get a bit of an idea, and then we'll just keep recasting the dead bait rods as and when I need to, if I find a deeper hole and whatnot. So let's go. Okay, give you a look at one of the sort of baits that we're using. When I said using big baits, don't get me wrong, there I'm sure people have used bigger. I certainly have used a lot bigger, but it's a good, it's a good solid roach. It's certainly a good mouthful of a bait for a pike, and that's sort of the stamp of baits we're using today. The pollen is much the same. Obviously it's longer profile of a bait. I'll be honest, we've been here an hour and a half, not a touch on the dead bait rods, bar the take on the lure rod. With the wind cutting right from my back and going across the lake, I've decided to move one of the floats up. So we're fishing at about 11, 12 foot. I think the lake in general is about 15 foot. And realistically all I want to do then is just hopefully the wind carries it across the lake, and we'll cover a bit more ground. I'll control the rod as much as possible so it's not moving too quick, and you know, I'll put a few twitches and jerks and stuff into it every now and then. It's just about covering ground today to find the feeding fish. There's been a lot of snow this week, which I'm sure everybody has seen. It has melted, the water's cool. Funny enough, the water is still reasonably clear. Seems to be a bit of a stone bottom of a lake, which is probably why it's kept reasonably clear. There's no rivers or anything running into it, which is obviously good. But obviously the fishing slowed down a fair bit because the water temperatures dropped very quickly in a few days. But all we can do is keep going. As I said, we're only here an hour and a half. We have got the full day. I'm going to have to open up a tin of Munster soon because the tiredness is starting to kick in. That's my son to blame for that. And yeah, let's see. Okay, we've got our first run on the dead bait. So it's a fairly large roach, as I said, so I'm just going to let it take it. Feels like a fairly solid fish. It's hard to know. Yes, not bad, fish caught. Good fish, no? That's a big fish, no? Get in the net. Get. That's a jam. Copy this. That's an absolute beast. What about that? For the first 20 pounder of the year, it came in at 22.10 with the net, so we just need to weigh the net to see what the proper weight is. 108 centimeters. The belly on it's empty. That fish is going to go easy 22, 23 pound come spawning season. Absolute giant. Look at the head on it. Stunning fish. It's a ton weight. It's so heavy. Oh, get a good grip of it. Let's just get a good look. So 108 centimeters. Just need to weigh the net, but I'm pretty sure that's my first 20 pound fish of 2022. That must be what's nailing the jacks in here. Big baits, that's the way to go. Right, I'm going to get it back. That was unreal. Like I thought it was a good fish. I didn't think it was anywhere near that size. It one good solid sort of run, and that was it. It wasn't a great fight, but I don't really care when they look like that. Weighed the net. The net was just over a pound, so it came in at 21.8. So first 20 pounder of the year. Amazing, buzzing. Couldn't have went any better. Yeah, you know, at the start of the video I said there's something big in here that's hitting jacks. Now we know that there's at least that in there. There could be bigger, who knows. But over the moon, really am. That's big, huge roach that took, just like the one I showed you. So I'm going to get another one of those back on, get it cast out. Strangely enough, it's been the only run that we've had on the dead baits. I've had one fish on the lure and one sort of follow on the lure, but everything has been with moving baits. I don't care if it's slow when their fish are like that. But yeah, let's go. Okay, run number 2. Cast it into the same spot where we got the big one. This is only literally 10 minutes later. On the roach again. Pollen hasn't been touched. Okay, so he's stopped there now. I think he's just turning it. As I said, they're pretty sizable roach. Even the big one there, the 21 pounder, the hooks actually fell out of it in the net. So the hooks weren't even in its mouth. It was caught on the outside, so it was very lucky to get it. I just sort of hope this one hasn't dropped it. There he goes, pretty sure he's still there. Oh, I just pulled it out of his mouth. Ah! And just like that then, the day is done. Only one fish. Well, one fish on the dead baits all day. A couple of small fish on the lures. Didn't even video some of them. And then we obviously had that missed take on the dead bait as well. We don't really know what size that fish was, but slow, but unbelievable quality. Can't be disappointed with that. First 20 pounder of the year, hopefully not the last, first of many. And yeah, from it being a day where I wasn't even going to leave the house to obviously snagging a big fish like that, love it. Especially whenever it was sort of put into a plan. We thought there was a big fish in this lake. There's something nailing the jacks. We want to find out, bring down the big baits, and bang. So yeah, buzzing. Thankfully my friend Noel came down as well, so I got a couple of decent pictures of the fish, which is always good. But yeah, as usual, thanks for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. It's certainly a big help. We're so close to the 4,000 subscribers, so thank you to everybody that has subscribed already. And yeah, we'll catch us on the next video.